first chapter documents our visit to the magical Sea of Cortez, which divides the Baja Peninsula from mainland Mexico. La Paz is the gateway to the area. 20 miles north lie the islands of Espiritu Santo and Partida, where the waters are crystal clear and shimmer with an astonishing shade of aquamarine. Strange rock formations border the bay of Ensenada Grande, where the soft underlying rock has been eroded away to leave a lacy overhang, seemingly ready at any moment to drip like melting wax into the waiting sea. Being so close to La Paz, this is a popular spot for day cruisers and tour boats. A tender, usually an inflatable, is essential for going ashore to explore the harsh landscape, sparse vegetation, and scarce wildlife. At the northern tip of these islands lie Los Islotes, home to a noisy colony of sea lions. Here you can swim with the pups and females, while keeping a wary eye open for the more aggressive males. The lack of vegetation lays bare the bones of the landscape, which presents an ever-changing kaleidoscope of shapes and colors. Our first night was spent off the crescent-white sand beach on the island of San Francisco, in the company of other cruising boats. For those who make Baja their home, eking out a living in this harsh landscape is not easy, and most villages are very remote. This family is asking for drinking water. Fishing is one of the few means of livelihood, and here at Bahia Agua Verde, a rough track 25 miles long connects the village to the highway. Just offshore, a distinctive landmark, aptly named Roca Solitaria, stands sentinel over the flocks of pelicans gathered around its base. Strangely, in this arid environment, a bizarre mist crept stealthily towards us over the water, shrouding the rock and veiling the setting sun. We barely made it back to the boat in the tender before it enveloped us in its clammy embrace. In the rosy glow of dawn the following morning, the Pangas head out for another day of fishing. The placid surface conceals not just fish, but also much larger creatures. Here an orca, also known as a killer whale, briefly surfaces. The most ferocious of local predators is the 8-foot Humboldt squid, which has 3 hearts, blue blood, 8 arms, and a baleful eye. Perhaps the superstitious can draw reassurance from a 70-foot-high natural sculpture called the Mano de Dios, the Hand of God. One of the best harbours on the coast is Puerto Escondido, hidden port. Even here, whales such as the humpback breach and swim in among the moored boats. The entrance to the harbour is narrow and lies in the shadow of the Sierra de la Giganta. It is fully landlocked and a true hurricane hole, as can be seen from this satellite image. Inside, a pair of frigate birds performed an aerial ballet as they foraged for food from the surface of the water. Outside the harbour, the sea came alive with huge pods of the largest and most athletic dolphins I have ever seen. To be surrounded by these intelligent creatures is the most wonderful experience.
It's a baby!
Oh, yes. They moved through the water apparently without effort or any movement of the tail, unless they were preparing for one of their prodigious leaps, which were higher than the Venture's foredeck rails. They broke the surface for just an instant to breathe, and the video allowed a unique opportunity not only to observe this, but to provide the means to measure the actual time. By slowing down the action and going frame by frame, you can see that they breathe out while still submerged, and break the surface only to breathe in, taking just 1/3 of a second for each. Even when slowed down to 1/10 of normal speed, it is still amazingly fast. The charts along the Mexican coast are far from accurate, and routinely showed that we were anchored on dry land. Fortunately, the reality was different, with Venture shown here in Puerto Bayandra on Isla Carmen. This provided another opportunity for a trip ashore, this time among the saguaro cactus, followed by a hike to the top of a nearby hill. At twilight, the lights of the town of Loreto shone through the velvety dusk. This charming town has endured for 3 centuries, making it the longest continually occupied town in Baja, and its mission was founded in 1696. Nearby is a delightful and attractive hotel. Further north we entered San Juanico Bay and sought out a smooth spot to drop the anchor. As the chain rattled down, we startled one of the many rays sunning itself in the green water. The main feature of this area are the strange rock formations frequented by squadrons of pelicans. Ospreys build untidy nests at the very top of every pinnacle. On the other side of Isla Carmen, we anchored in Bahia Salinas and visited a deserted and decaying town which had once been a thriving community engaged in the production of salt. It was a stark reminder of how swiftly nature breaks down the detritus of man's abandoned enterprises. A dramatic sunset drew a curtain across this forlorn scene. A fresh dawn brought a new day with an escort of lively dolphins. The Sea of Cortez is home to the largest creatures ever to have inhabited the planet, dinosaurs included. These are the magnificent blue whales, brought so close to the edge of extinction that no one really knows how many there are left. Alerted to their presence by the sound of their breathing from their huge lungs, we kept a respectful distance. But what is causing these huge splashes? These are humpback whales which breach and then crash back into the ocean. All too soon it was time for us to return to La Paz, as we had many more miles ahead of us. We were hastened on our way south by strong winds from the north. But tranquility blessed our last night at anchor in this beautiful sea.